Krishnamurti, in dialogue with Dr. Allan W. Anderson. J. Krishnamurti was born in South India and educated in England. For the past 40 years, he has been speaking in the United States, Europe, India, Australia, and other parts of the world. From the outset of his life's work, he repudiated all connections with organized religions and ideologies and said that his only concern was to set men absolutely, unconditionally free. He is the author of many books, among them The Awakening of Intelligence, The Urgency of Change, Freedom from the Known, and The Flight of the Eagle. This is one of a series of dialogues between Krishnamurti and Dr. Allan W. Anderson, who is professor of religious studies at San Diego State University, where he teaches Indian and Chinese scriptures and the oracular tradition. Dr. Anderson, a published poet, received his degree from Columbia University and the Union Theological Seminary. He has been honored with a Distinguished Teaching Award from the California State Universities.
Mr. Krishnamurti, I was very taken with a recent statement of yours in which you said that it's the responsibility of each human being to bring about his own transformation, which is not dependent on knowledge or time. And if it's agreeable with you, I thought that it would be a splendid thing if we explored together the general area of transformation itself. And after we've done that, perhaps the other related areas would begin to fall into place, and we could bring about in conversation a relationship among them.
Don't you think, sir, considering what's happening in the world, in India, in Europe, and in America, the general degeneration in literature, in art, and especially in the deep cultural sense, in the sense religion.
Yes.
There is a traditional approach, a mere acceptance of authority, belief, which is not really the religious spirit. Seeing all this, the confusion, the great misery, the sense of infinite sorrow, any observant and most serious people would say that the society cannot possibly be changed except only when the individual, the human being, really transforms himself radically, that is, regenerates himself fundamentally. And the responsibility of that depends on the human being, not on the mass or on the priest or on a church or a temple or mosque or whatever, but on a human being who is aware of this enormous confusion, politically, religiously, economically, in every direction. There is such misery, such unhappiness. And when you see that, it is a very serious thing to ask oneself whether a human being like oneself or another, whether he can really deeply undergo a radical transformation. And when that question is put to him, and when he sees his responsibility in relation to the whole, then perhaps we can discuss what relationship has knowledge and time in the transformation of man.
I quite follow. we'd need then to lay some groundwork
That's
in order to
yeah.
move into the question itself.
Yes, because most people are not concerned with the world at all. Most people are not concerned seriously with the events, with the chaos, with the mess in the world at present. They're only concerned very superficially. Problem of energy, problem of pollution, and so on, such superficial things. But they're really not deeply concerned with the human mind, the mind that is destroying the world.
Yes, I quite follow. What you've said places in a very cardinal way the radical responsibility on the individual as such, if I've understood you correctly.
Yes.
There are no 5-year plans that we can expect to help us out.
The word individual really is not the correct word, because individual, as you know, sir, means undivided, indivisible in himself. But human beings are totally fragmented. Therefore, they are not individuals. They may have a bank account, a name, a house, but they're not really individuals in the sense. A total, complete, harmonious whole, unfragmented. That's really what it means to be an individual.
But would you say then that to move or make passage, or perhaps a better word simply would be change, since we're not talking about time, from this fragmented state to one of wholeness could be regarded as a change in the level of the being of the person?
Yes.
Could we say that?
Yes. But you see, again, the word whole implies not only sanity, health, and also the word whole means holy, H-O-L-Y.
Mm-hmm.
All that's implied in that one word, whole. And human beings are never whole. They're fragmented. They're contradictory. They are torn apart by various desires. So when we talk of an individual, the individual is really a human being who is totally, completely whole, sane, healthy, and therefore holy.
Mm-hmm.
And to bring about such a human being is our responsibility in education, politically, religiously, in every way.
Mm-hmm.
And therefore it's the responsibility of the educator, of everybody, not just myself, my responsibility. It's your responsibility as well as mine, as well as his.
It's everyone's responsibility.
Absolutely, because we have created this awful mess in the world.
Mm-hmm. But the individual is the one who must make the start.
A human being.
Right.
Each human being, it doesn't matter whether he's a politician or a businessman or just an ordinary person like me in the street, it's our business as a human being to realize the enormous suffering, misery, confusion there is in the world. And it's our responsibility to change all that. Not the politicians, not the businessmen, not the scientists,